So I just got back home after leaving my houseplants for just under 2 weeks while I was away on holiday. They got no care while I was gone. I was just like, water them all before I go, hope and pray that they're all okay when I get back. And I figured we could do a big water now that I'm back all together in today's video, a sort of chit-chatty, chill, relaxing. You can chuck this on while you do some plant chores, or you do your own watering, or you just want to like chill with a craft or something. That kind of vibe video today. Before we get into it though, I want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanty content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanty journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos, and subscribe to my channel. If you are not new here, welcome back. I really appreciate you returning. Now let us get into this business. I have a very full, heavy watering can here with just water. To be honest, I don't particularly fancy using fertilizer at the minute. Not that there's anything wrong with using fertilizer, I just like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I get worried that when my plants are on the drier side, if I add fertilizer in, it might like mess them up. I think that's just me being in my head, so like don't take that as a thing. But we're just going in with straight water, and also because I'm gonna have to refill this watering can about 1,000 times during this video, I don't feel like doing that with fertilizer as well. So I guess let's just get started on these things. Let me shift you about. I mean, I guess we're starting with like really big things in the corner, which is not ideal. Also, I should say that every single one of the plants, I say every single one, I've got 3 plants with the willow sensors in. I know I just talked about them in my like good plant tools video. This isn't sponsored by them, but like I do work with them long term. I love their products. But all 3 of my plants with my willow sensors in have told me that my plants are desperate for a drink while I was away. But we had a house sitter to obviously watch the cats, but I was just like, don't worry about the plants because I'd rather you not like kill them. Not that I think she would, but like just easier to not worry about those kind of things. I'd rather her focus on the cats than what's going on with my plants. And like, I don't know, I don't expect anyone to know how to take care of this many plants at once. I feel like it's overwhelming enough for me. Imagine if I was doing it for somebody else. I mean, I feel like I would be fine because I know what I'm doing, but like if you didn't know what you were doing, I could imagine it being somewhat stressful. But I know there's also a lot of other things that have gotten quite dry and lots of pond reservoirs that have been fully emptied out. All of my moss pools are extremely dry at the minute as well. And everything needs a good like once over, I think. So why not do it together? First update. The new leaf has come in. Oh, on my Fat Boy Not Fat Boy. Can you see that? Look at her. So freaking gorgeous and happy there. I don't have any other new growth on any of these things. I was hoping my Monstera would put out some more. Hasn't. The Tycon. It has not yet. My Warwickwianum here has also like come in quite a lot. It's still feeling soft, so it's possible that it's not done hardening off yet, but it's still got this kind of like big, obviously big damagey bits, unfortunately. Also, side note, I'm not going to talk about this much, but like, do you see this? This just arrived in the post today, which was so freaking cool. I suppose I could talk about it. So I need to pot this up properly, but this is a Philodendron Ilsmanii. And this just arrived as well. I ended up ordering it while I was away, but oh my goodness, I wanted to say this because some sellers are so freaking nice. So I saw it on eBay basically before I went away, and I was like really nervous I didn't want to order it and then go away, and then if something bad were to happen to it. Oh, that is too full. Whoopsies. If something bad were to happen to it, then like I wouldn't be here to take care of it. And so I was like, I don't want to put this order in quite yet. Can you like hold on to it for me until I am ready? to put in the order. And so they took down the listing, which was really nice. And then they put it back up right at the end of my holiday. Also, I way overfilled that. Okay, we're just gonna go into this one. There's some janky watering going on here. More. Yeah, that's fine. So they took down the listing and then they put it back up for me right at the end of my holiday so I could order it by the time, and it would like kind of be here when I got back, which is awesome. And it's just like, you can just ask for these things sometimes. Like, it's definitely worth talking to sellers, especially private sellers, about like maybe just delivering a little bit later. I mean, I originally asked if I could buy it and then have them send it later, but that wasn't an option because of like the eBay terms. And so better to just like it was just really nice that they relisted it for me. I felt very like blessed by that. And so I need to pot that up, and I'm a little bit nervous about it because it was kind of an expensive plant. It was like 70 something pounds all told with shipping, which is like a really freaking good deal, considering that you can get like big plants for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds still. So I'm excited to see how that one grows for me. Also, all of my multiples are like quite hydrophobic at the minute. Like, it's not even soaking up that water that I've just put in there. Whoops. Also, one thing I do want to say is that it is very, 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 very normal, come on, to have like yellowing leaves happen while I'm away. I've come home and there's a lot of yellowing leaves throughout my collection. There's a lot of things that need a little bit of attention and like removal of these things. That's completely freaking normal. It is just, it's to be expected, because over time, plants will lose bottom leaves. Not that these were bottom leaves. They're just like random leaves that have gone off, but they'll randomly lose leaves, and I don't think it's to do with pests or anything. It's just sometimes it happens, and it's completely normal. So I'm going to gather all of these up, and I can show you all of the beautiful yellowing leaves at the end. Okay, that's this section, all watered and sorted out and updated. We can move on to the IKEA greenhouse cabinet now. Okay, I guess honest review of these moisture, like self-watering doodads. I don't think I actually like them. I think they're a little bit too slow at releasing water for my personal needs. And I don't know how well they actually respond to fertilizer. I don't know if you can see there's like sort of calcified looking stuff in there, and I don't know if that is just like dried up fertilizer. Because I've been noticing that, at least on my Manjula pothos, that the pole has been dry for a while, and it's just not, like, even though I've filled this up, it doesn't actually go down very far. And given this is a gigantic pole, and so even if I had just a cup of water, I don't think it would properly moisten it enough. I am just going to put it back for right now because I don't want to hold on to this. But I think it's just one of those things that it's just not quite right. There's something about it just not, doesn't do exactly what I want. Maybe for soil it would be fine, but for moss it's not quite right, I don't think. Oh my goodness. Ha ha ha. I've got new growth on my brochet. This is exciting. Look at that. It is so bright and silver. I'm very glad because these couple of leaves got a little bit damaged when I was underwatering it a bit. To be honest, the soil doesn't even look that dry here, which is good. I can kind of tell based off of the color of it. No, it does feel, it's like very, very, very minimally damp. So I think it is probably ready for a little bit more water. I could leave it a little bit longer because Hoya's can go a little bit drier, but why would I do that when I know I've had issues watering this one in the first place? Oh my goodness. This guy is thirsty. So, you know what I was talking about? Synapses curling up when they're thirsty. This is what I was talking about. It has just gone so incredibly curling in. All of the leaves are just like pulled in, and that's how I know that it's thirsty. And this is probably more than I generally let it get. Like, dryness wise, I try to water it before it gets to this point, but obviously since I was away, that wasn't gonna happen, and so it's gonna bounce back. I'm not worried about it in the slightest. It's just, it's good to note that this is normal and like okay, and isn't gonna like negatively affect the plant long run. Okay. Oh, that was gonna fall. That would have been bad. Unfortunately, with this lamp here, I can't fully open this door, which is kind of annoying, but like, it's fine. For the most part, I feel like things in here are, I mean, this one, I don't know how well you can see the water level in there. It's just there. So it hasn't gone fully dry, which is nice, but it's not fully hydrated either, so I will refill these reservoirs. And I feel like the things in here in soil are also fairly dry, so we'll give them a really nice water. And obviously the moss poles. I have been much better at keeping these moss poles in here moist in, I feel like, the most recent 6 months. I've been much more on top of it, which I'm quite proud of, because normally I'm like kind of bad at it. But it's just been about me paying attention a little bit more, I think, which is important. And I feel like now that I've got fewer plants, that has helped quite a bit. This one is quite hard to get to water. There we go. Also, this leaf on my bisma here, I am gonna keep it for now because it does have some new growth coming in. Look at that. So exciting. So even though this leaf's like kind of like gone, I'm just going to hold out until hopefully this new growth comes in and we are in a better place with it. Oh my gosh, it's got a little root coming out of the bottom already. Okay, that's adorable. So this is doing fantastically. I was a little bit worried about it. I feel like my cabinet's gotten to the point again where it's quite difficult to water everything, and I have to take stuff out in order to water because there's just too much. There's too much in it again. So maybe it's something that I refresh again at some point. But for now, I am just gonna leave it. That's a problem for later, Emma. Oh my goodness. Oh, I forgot about this. Do you guys remember this? Probably not. So this is an extremely dry alocasia something that I had propping in water that never rooted, and I just let dry up like a little shrimp. So that's gonna go in the bin because that's not savable at this point, unfortunately. Oh no, no! That's sad. I think it touched the light. Okay, so the newest leaf on my crystal Portal A, it's kind of been ruined. Like, I think it's not gonna work out because I'm pretty sure it touched the grow light. It looks like that's what this burn is here. Unfortunately, the shelf might have been a little bit too high up for it now. Oh, that is such a shame. I mean, I'm sure it'll give me another new leaf soon because this one has been giving me new leaves quite quickly. And I know I'm like not into anthurium hybrids. I've said that on many occasions, but it's still fun. Like, I'm not gonna get rid of it. It was a present from a friend, so like I'm not just gonna like kill it or give it away for no reason, because like it's still growing well. I've got like, I don't know, I'm not a hypocrite, but like I can pick my battles. Pop that in there, and then oh, that just is so sad. I need more space. Jeez, yeah, I should shift this over. Just trying to have some room to do things, and it is near impossible. This is giving me anxiety. I know it's my own doing, but it's still giving me anxiety. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay, this isn't even my plant, but like y'all can be excited about this as well. So the plants I ordered from Oddleaf, the new leaf that was coming in on the Luxurians has come in. Look at that. How exciting is that? It's not fully firm yet, but it's coming. And that's what I don't get, because it's not as silver as the previous ones, and maybe that is just because it's still coming in, but like I much prefer this sort of silvery color to this green. So I don't know, maybe it'll fade to silver, but it's doing so well. I still haven't seen this friend, obviously, hence why I still have this plant, and I will hold on to it for her for a while until I do end up seeing her. But Lottie, if you're watching, it's doing really freaking well. Okay, I've got some like Hoyas at the top back of this cabinet that are impossible to pull out all the way, so I can't even show you. But they are doing really well. They're in the tiniest freaking pots ever, so maybe I need to upsize them a little bit because they do go a little bit dry. Oh my goodness. Okay, so one thing I love about going on holiday and coming back is that like you see all this new growth that wasn't there before. And so I've got new growth on, can you focus on that? Look at that. So this is my Poppy Bessier Af in here, and it's got a new leaf, which is so exciting. Hopefully this one won't touch the light like the other one did and burn itself, but I don't think it will. Da-da-da. Weep. Perfect. Oh yeah, it's much lower in the cabinet, so I don't think it will be an issue. I should probably also inspect all of these for pests. I haven't seen anything, and I haven't had pests, knock on wood, somewhere, knock on wood, in here for quite a while. I think it's been because I've been using the predatory mite sachets so religiously. I have them on the subscription with Ladybird Plant Care because I do not want thrips, but I think I keep like 2 or 3 sachets per section within the cabinet, depending on how densely populated it is, because it is quite dense at the minute. Actually, I only have 2 in here at the minute, like in this top shelf. I have more on the bottom as well, but that's kind of about the density that I put them, if that makes sense. Okay, let us go down to the bottom bit. Things in here are doing pretty well. Again, it has just gotten so freaking dense in this zone that it stresses me out, and like I just have a lot of Hoyas that are tendriling, which kind of makes it difficult to water them. Like I can't even pull this Shepherdii out. Also, you can't properly see it, but I can't pull it out because it's tendriling so much that it's just like gone behind things, and it's not possible. But these are kind of like the perfect amount dry, I feel like, at this point, these Hoyas, for the space there. And oh my goodness, this one's going purple. Ooh, this one's too dry. Whoops. Do you see how wrinkly these leaves are? They're very wrinkly, but they have gone a little bit purple in there. Oh yeah, that's too dry. Oops. Let's hope I haven't pushed this one too far. But they're going a little bit purple in the sun stress, being so close to the grow light up there, which is quite exciting. My little Hoya multi-box is very thirsty in here. So give it a really good, healthy bit of water. And why I like this multi-box like this is because I can just kind of shove the water in and then it'll essentially bottom water all of them, which makes it way easier to make sure that they're all getting hydrated. And now we get into the difficult stuff to pull out. Okay, this is still very, very, very wet. This is my New Guinea Ghost, and I likely not like overwatered it, but left it in a little bit of a puddle of water when I left. Because the way this one is sitting, it can easily sit in a puddle. And so I'm not gonna water this one yet. Okay, that's the first one I've not felt like I needed to water immediately, if that makes sense. How's my variegated Thanksgiving cactus doing? I haven't updated y'all on this one in a while. Look at this. It is doing so freaking well. It has kind of gone, like, there's some sections that have gone a bit reverted, which is totally fine. I don't mind having it as a bit of a mixed pot. But then some of it has gone full white. Like, I've got these full white sections here, which are quite fun. Okay, this one's pretty moist as well. So I don't think I need to water this one quite yet. But it has just, it's gotten, like, really, really, really nice looking. I feel like it's established at this point, which is nice. Oh my goodness, and there's new growth coming out of the bottom in there. Look at that. So cute. This one isn't super different to how it was looking the other day. This is my Regal. But we're getting there with this one. It has gotten very algae in this container. I'm just making sure that the perlite doesn't go entirely dry. It's still moist at the bottom, so like I'm not worried about it, but I still don't see any roots. Oh, is that a root? No, that's just a piece of perlite. Yeah, I don't see any roots yet, so we're just gonna hope that it is actually rooting in here. This was the top section, so I didn't actually have any roots on it at all. But this new growth is actually coming out, which is awesome. Okay, I need to stop giving updates on every single one of these plants because there's just too much, but let me just have a quick watering sesh. So much has happened in this corner here. So my Gadgiana is like mega leaning, and I think part of that is because it is fully dry. This is one of the thirstiest freaking alocasias, and even though it's in a giant container and I water it so frequently, it is so thirsty. And I mean, also I have to take this leaf off, obviously. My Portadora, unfortunately, has decided it wants to give up on this leaf. It doesn't look like this leaf is ready to come off yet. Let me cut it and we can look at it. It is the older of the two leaves, so like maybe it is. I'm thinking maybe it just got a little bit too dry as well, because this one's also extremely thirsty. So now we are currently in the one leaf club with my Portadora, which is a shame. Like, I wish this leaf was yellowing, and that's why it like wasn't working. Maybe actually those look like Cosmo bites. And yes, I know alocasias are toxic, but they're not like extremely toxic. And if he'd eaten like a massive chunk of it, I feel like I could have reason to be worried. But like if he's just nibbling on it, I don't think I am. Maybe he pulled it down and bent the stem, and that's what's happened here. That is a massive shame. But it's also like looking like a very sad leaf regardless. So hopefully this leaf will save the plant and we'll be out of the one leaf club soon. But oh my god, this is insane. So I have a new leaf on my bird of paradise. It's gonna be kind of hard to see, but the bottom of the leaf starts there and the top of it is all the way up there. It is going to be freaking huge. And I find that bird of paradise leaves, they like size up so much. So I cannot wait to see how big this one is. Like the previous leaves on it are also pretty big, but this one is gonna be absolutely massive. This is my third full watering can. I don't know why I feel like I want to share that information, but I would be curious to see how much water people use on their plants. But I'm probably going to use the entire 3 liters of this on these 3 plants here. So hopefully it'll help them perk up quite a bit, because I would like, it's just leaning a lot, which I'd prefer that it didn't. This is just so thirsty. Also, it's really weird because it's super thirsty, but then the leaves they have guttation almost all of the time after I've watered it, and it's like constantly dripping, and I'm like, why did you suck up the water if you weren't like gonna use it? Just like don't drink it yet, and then don't drip it on my sofa, couch, and myself. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't quite make sense in my brain. Also, it's actually kind of a weird time of year for my bird of paradise to be putting out a new leaf. So normally I notice that mine puts out its best growth like in winter time. I don't know if it's just like storing up loads of like energy from all of the summer and the like normal growing season, and then it just like puts out loads of leaves over winter. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Does anyone else experience their bird of paradise mostly growing in the winter? Let me know, because I feel like it's a little bit weird that that might be the case, but it has been definitely the case in my situation. And like for it to grow a big, huge new leaf at the beginning of autumn feels a bit weird for me. I mean, nothing to be concerned about. Like I'm not mad. It's a new leaf. There's nothing wrong with that. But I don't know. It just feels a little odd. A little Cosmo update. He's just having a snooze here. He's got his little flower cone on at the minute because he was neutered yesterday. The poor boy. But he's doing so well and just sleeping it off at this point. It's just a little bit of a shame though, because we finally got to the point where the cats are like okay being together in the same space, and it just feels like it's a bit of a step back because we can't have them in the same place while he's got his while he's healing his wounds, because we don't want them to like play and have things open up again and like get infected and stuff. So we kind of have to just separate them for a while, which is kind of annoying, but worth it. It's just a shame because they finally got to a good place. So anyways, not that you asked for that update, I just want you to know how they're doing. Back to the plants. I have quite a few things that are actually popping some yellow growth at the minute. It's not growth, it's just like old leaves getting a bit crusty. So I'm just going to pull these off. Luckily with pothos, they kind of just come off quite easily. Don't even have to try very hard. You can kind of just like pull them. Sometimes with alocasia, they're a little bit more difficult to get out and you need to cut them. But let's get all of these gross leaves out. But again, this is like fairly normal for like going away for 2 weeks. I'll almost always lose some leaves during this time, especially on this plant. I don't know why this one does just like to lose leaves, especially when it gets really dry. Got a couple. Oh, I took the one off that already. A couple in here as well. Come on. And we can water this whole section as well because they're probably quite thirsty. Like I can feel, especially on the pothos, these ones get really floppy when they're thirsty. The Synapsis big pot actually looks pretty solid, like it's not curling around or anything. So I might just leave it. This is quite a big pot and so it retains water for quite a while. But the things in the slightly smaller pots need water a little bit more often. Oh my goodness. Okay, I've got some new growth on my Pallidiflorum that I'll show you once I've watered this. Look at that. It is quite large for a new emerging leaf, so I'm hoping it gets quite big. I haven't had any new leaves in a while. I've had quite a few like inflows that I've just ignored that I probably need to cut off. But I've got another inflow back there as well. Maybe I should just trim that off before it even wastes the energy. Because I'd rather it focus on new leaves because that's what I want from this plant more so. Something else that's gotten crazy dry is my Pelleonia. You can see how droopy it is. And I suppose if you didn't know what this plant looked like hydrated, you wouldn't think that it's thirsty, but it is so floppy right now and like the leaves are so soft. And I was a little bit worried about this one. This was probably one of the few plants I was actually contemplating having the house sitter actually look at. Why can't, do I not have enough water in my can? Gosh, I'm just spilling water everywhere. Actually having her look at while we were away and refill, but in the end I decided against it just because I figured it would probably be fine. I did just spill water all over myself though. But also something I've noticed about this one, since I've moved it outside of the IKEA cabinet, so it's not getting tons and tons of like really bright light, it has gone a lot more green on green variegation instead of like very white stuff. It had slightly higher up, which I think is interesting. I definitely prefer the more white stuff. So maybe I just need to hang it in a spot that gets a little bit more grow light because this spot here doesn't get really any. But I mean, it's fine. I'm not mad at it, you know? So I need to go in and water all these Hoyas here still. But before I did, I just wanted to show you the size of these newest obovata leaves. Holy cow. And it's not like the previous ones were small by any means, but oh, this has gone insane. I genuinely think it's because it's been on the trellis. And it's like same with the Parasitica here. It's been on the trellis, it's been underneath a brighter grow light, and it has just put out so many more leaves with like more variegation than before. Like look at the difference in those two leaves. It's incredible. These two have also gone incredibly floppy here. And I mean, my golden pothos, it's got loads of little leaves with, basically once the stems start going yellow, don't know how well you can see it. So the leaves, they're still like green, but the stems start going yellow first. And then once the stems start going yellow, basically they're gonna wanna come off fairly soon. And so I try and take them off before they start getting too ugly. I don't have tons at the minute, which is good. But I almost always have yellowing leaves on this plant. It's just so big. It spans the entire length of this beam up here, basically, and it's gone back and forth so many times that like for the size of the pot, it is, it's a bit big. And in theory, I probably should repot it, but you know, I don't want to. It's like any bigger of a pot and I need to like buy a new hanging planter. It barely fits in it as it is. So this is one that, in general, I end up having to water more than half of my other plants. So I'm not surprised that these in particular are like very, very thirsty at the minute. So that's the end of the 4th watering can now. And ooh, I only have a tiny bit left in this room. Of course, things in my acrobar are getting a bit overgrown. It's things like the begonia. Like, it just, it's cuttings, but it just grows so well that I need to take it out so quickly because it fills up so fast. Oh my god, I'm being such a messy waterer right now. Excuse that. But otherwise, things in here are looking very good. Pretty healthy, and I think because this is quite humid, this box, I don't need to worry about things getting too dry in here. This is one of the 2 plants that live in the hallway here, and it has a brand new, gorgeous Milky Way cast iron plant leaf, which is so exciting. I was a little bit worried about this one growing here because it's in like the darkest of spots. It doesn't really get any real light, but so far it's doing great. And then the other one is not faring as well. And to be honest, this is not the right space for the begonia really at all because it is just too dark. But I'm having to take some leaves off. I know it's dropped a bunch previously. This is my begonia white ice, and it is pretty much all the way thirsty at the minute. So I mean, this is just a temporary location for this one because I had it in the bedroom and I took it out for Cosmo purposes. But once Cosmo is recovered from his, there we go, nice and full of water now. Once he's recovered from his procedure, then I can kind of put it back in because he'll just have access to the full house. So what's the difference of it being like in the hallway or the living room versus in the bedroom? Okay, final room is the office, and you can see just how sad my fry deck is looking at the minute. It is just so bent over. It is fully dry in there. Whoops. And also, things have gotten too close to the light again. I don't know. Things just keep going to try and swallow this light. This freaking Soltech light is, I suppose, one of the best ones in my collection because my plants just keep going for it. So I need to sort out this section once again. Again, not a today job, but like, excuse me, what's going on? Also, pretty much everything in this zone is in self-watering, semi-hydro. So I feel like one would think it would be slower to dry, but they're also big that these plants just dry out quite fast, unfortunately. And that is the end of this watering can. Let me fill it up. What are we on, 5? I don't know. Where's the thing on this one? Oh frick, don't fall over, please. I need to like rehydrate this moss pole because it is far too dry, the dubia pole. Again, it had one of the, can you see that? The IKEA things in it, and I just don't think they work well for me. So I'm not gonna use them again. I'll probably take them out and change it for a cup. I was hoping it would work well, but unfortunately, it doesn't do what I need it to. Also, the stingray back here, it has gone insane. It has so many little baby plants coming out of it as well. I'll see if I can pop some B-roll in over this, but it's doing so well. It's so happy, and it's got so many leaves. I cannot believe how happy this plant is. I do, however, have a couple leaves to cut off of things. And then my big moss poles here. I do end up having to water the soil on these ones, especially the Rafita tetrasperma, because I did just repot it. It's good to make sure the soil stays very, very moist for a little while, but that's easy enough. I think I need to sort out my Glorious as well, because it is growing really well still. It's like above what I can tolerate at this point. It's like grown above the top of the moss pole, but it's so heavy. I just don't want to get rid of the bottom, because the bottom's like where all the nice bit of the plant is. So I'm not sure what I want to do with this, because it's just gotten a little bit unruly for me at the minute, unfortunately. Oh my god, it's gone so hydrophobic. It's dripping on the floor. Oh. I'm just gonna have to hold this for a minute until it stops being hydrophobic, and then hopefully stops dripping. It's nearly getting to the point as well that it's time for me to do more nematodes for fungus gnats. I tend to do it twice a year in the spring and autumn, and so I feel like we're just about getting there. Maybe later this month I'll get a big set thing of nematodes, and I can go through and do all of my plants and get rid of some fungus gnats. That being said, they've not been bad. I'm just aware of them more than I normally am, if that makes sense. Can 6, and we are going into the Rudsta now. Honestly, things have gone crazy in here. Do you see how they're all up next to the grow lights? It's just, it's all grown too quickly. Begonias grow too fast. And fortunately, things aren't really in need of water in here. Most of the reservoirs are halfway filled, I think, at least, which is good. It means that they're not going dry, because that's always my biggest worry, is that things end up going dry. But it doesn't look like any of these have. Oh, actually, some of the smaller ones have, but all of the big ones are nice and fine. And to be honest, they're not bone dry. It's gonna be a problem when I water it dry. They're just damp, no more reservoir damp, which is fine enough to function, you know? I do have some leaves in here that I can take out though as well. But that's okay. I'm just going to power through the end of this watering can until I don't have any more water, unless something crazy jumps out at me. But to be honest, I don't think it will. The other plants I considered asking the house sitter to water were my carnivorous rock gardens, and unfortunately I didn't, and we have some casualties here. This is one of my Dracaeras, which is a shame, and basically they just got entirely dry, which they don't like getting entirely dry. And it has caused them to be kind of unhappy. I am watering with my zero water pitcher for these ones because they need the just like distilled rainwater or like well filtered water. But this one has caught so many fungus gnats. Look at that. Look at that. It's caught so many in there. And it wasn't really catching them from what I was seeing before. So I'm glad it is actually getting them now, which is good. We are getting there. Oh my gosh. Oh no. I have some damage on my Genevieve leaf. It could possibly be pest damage, or I just knocked the leaf and it got damaged. Whatever, it's fine. I do need to refill that pitcher to do the last one, but I have another full watering can for the last of the plants in here. And I am just spilling water all over the place. My cat grass is pretty much dead at this point. I think Cosmo did like it. He did try some and he seemed to quite like it. Cleo also seemed to quite like it, which is good. But I haven't really had enough time to give it to them. Also, we have another casualty, unfortunately. Oh my god, this is so sad. Look how bad that's looking. It is just dropping leaves left and right, and I'm pretty sure it was going off before I even went away on holiday, and so the fact that it didn't get any water while I was away, and I'm pretty sure I was soil propagating these because the old ones were doing poorly, so I think I might just have to give up on this Acecanthanthus, unfortunately. It probably needs to go into the bin. Oops. But the rest of the things in here can have some water like they need, and will be happy little clams. Before we close up the end of this video, I wanted to show you my big pile of taken off leaves, and I want to say that this is normal. This is totally normal for me when I come back from holiday. Basically, all of these leaves would have come off regardless of whether or not I was away. It just kind of looks like a lot all at once because I haven't taken them off for 2 weeks, but normally I'd be taking them off every day when I see them. So if you have something like this, if you come home to a bunch of yellowing leaves after holiday, don't worry too much, especially if it is more of the older ones. It's not something to worry about. Do check them though. It could be pests if you are experiencing some yellowing leaves, especially if they're more on the fresh ones, but this kind of thing, don't stress about it. It's all good. There we go. I have caught up on watering after the 2 weeks of me being away and my plants not getting any sort of care. I hope you enjoyed this sort of watering with me / updates sort of video. If you did, let me know and I can make more of these, because I find it fun to just kind of like go through things with you and like show you how it is, and like we can experience the excitement together kind of thing. And I mean, I guess the lows as well on things that are like not doing as well, but like mostly the highs of like new leaves and exciting stuff going on. Let me know if that is something that you would like to see more of on my channel, and I can make that happen for you. Before I go, I want to say a huge thank you to the newest members of my good growing fam over on Patreon: Bethany, James, and Tony. Thanks for joining in. I really hope you enjoyed over there. If anyone else is interested in joining my Patreon, the lowest tier is £3 a month, and for that you get pretty much everything. All of the bulk of my Patreon stuff is in that tier. I do have some higher tiers if you wish to contribute a little bit more and help support me in a bigger way financially, but totally no pressure if that is not your thing. The main gem is at £3. So I will link that down below if you're interested in joining. Absolutely no pressure if you don't want to do that. All good. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanty things you'd like me to talk about in the future. If I mentioned anything in this video that you want to see more on, let me know that down below as well, and subscribe for more. Right, I hope you're having a fantastic day. I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to keep growing. Bye!